Now, on another well-qualified nominee, I urge colleagues to support. Since his nomination to the Supreme Court was announced, Judge Neil Gorsuch has received extensive praise from former colleagues, from the legal community, and editorial boards, among many others. It's praise that comes from across the political spectrum. Even many on the left can't help but compliment Judge Gorsuch's credentials, including former President Obama's own legal mentor, who called him brilliant, and his former acting Solicitor General, who applauded Gorsuch's fairness and decency. This week, we add to that lengthy list of supporters with more than 150 of Judge Gorsuch's former classmates at Columbia University. As they note, these alumni have followed an array of postgraduate pursuits. They are CEOs, stay-at-home parents, professors and lawyers, entrepreneurs, and scientists. They come from different socioeconomic and ethnic backgrounds, practice different faiths, reside in different parts of our country, and hold very diverse political views. Even so, each of these Columbia grads can agree on at least one thing: Neil Gorsuch's fitness to serve on the Supreme Court. So let me share with you the letter they just sent to the Judiciary Committee. At Columbia, Neil Gorsuch notably distinguished himself among his peers. He was a serious and brilliant student who earned deep respect from teachers and students alike. With an encyclopedic knowledge on a staggering array of subjects, he could be counted on for his insightful, logical, and well-reasoned comments. He carried a full and challenging course load, finishing in 3 years and graduating Phi Beta Kappa. The letter continues. The hallmark of Neil Gorsuch's tenure at Columbia was his unflagging commitment to respectful and open dialogue on campus. Despite an often contentious environment, Neil was a steadfast believer that we could disagree without being disagreeable. To be sure, he could deliver a devastating argument laden with carefully researched facts and presented in a crisp and organized manner, yet he was always a thoughtful and fair-minded listener who would not hesitate to reevaluate his own beliefs when presented with persuasive arguments. His amiable nature, good humor, and respect for differing viewpoints was admired and appreciated by all. So, Mr. President, it was clear, even years ago, that the intellect, academic record, and character of their classmate, Neil Gorsuch, was so special, that there was a shared sense that he was poised for a meaningful and purposeful future. How right they were. Neil Gorsuch is exceptionally qualified to serve on the Supreme Court. He has, as I just noted, an encyclopedic knowledge on a staggering array of subjects with insightful, logical, and well-reasoned comments. He's a humble man with no appetite for self-promotion. Let me say that again, a humble man with no appetite for self-promotion. He's an upstanding person with unyielding integrity, faith in our institution, and unfailing politeness. These are the words of his former classmates, and they are the qualities that we expect in a Supreme Court justice. Regardless of political leanings, we all should understand the importance of confirming justices who will interpret the law as written, not misuse their office to impose their own views as to what, in their mind, should have been written instead. We should understand the importance of confirming justices who will apply the law equally to all Americans, not rule based on their empathy for certain groups over others. I'm confident that Judge Gorsuch is more than prepared to meet these critical standards. It's the type of judge he's been on the Federal Court of Appeals. It's the type of justice he will be on the High Court as well. That's why we continue to see recommendations for Gorsuch flooding in from people of all backgrounds and all political views. In the coming weeks, I'm sure the support for Judge Gorsuch will continue to grow. And I know we're all eager to hear from the judge himself when he goes before the Judiciary Committee later this month. When he does, I hope colleagues on both sides will show him the fair consideration that he deserves. The same fair consideration we showed to all 4 of the Supreme Court nominees of President Obama and President Clinton after they were first elected. A respectful hearing followed by an up or down vote.